Good morning. Wow, you sent that message as soon as I switched screens. I don't know what I want to work on today. I'm thinking. I know I said what I was gonna do next time I streamed. However, I'm thinking I want to do some of the ability animations for third person. So, methinks we are going to do at least the pulse blade throw, and maybe yeah, methinks we're gonna do the pulse blade throw and then the deployable, like when deploying the turret. At the bare minimum, that's what I want to do for third person. We might also set up some code to have weapon specific, like, offset animations. So to show that, what I mean by that is, like, if I pull this into slow motion. I also fixed some bugs this morning before I streamed. So you can see that when this dude melees, oh, where's the windmill? There's the windmill. Yes, sir. I also still have to fix that. That's a different day. But basically, what I want to do is, when you can see when he melees, the gun kind of comes down to his side, but if we pause and we do this, nah, it's coming, just not that soon. But you can see when he does the melee right now, he do be meleeing. There's the knife in all of its glory. The gun kind of comes off and down to the side. However, I just kind of made this pose without a gun in it, so while it technically works, it doesn't exactly look the best with every single gun. So, you can see it's flipping into his chest right here. Yeah, it's sticking in his chest. And then if we switch to the pistol, I mean, doesn't have to be, but yeah, it probably is. And then when you melee with the pistol, it's the same ordeal. It just goes down to that same position, and it looks better on the pistol. So we might end up building up a system where we can create a custom weapon unready, or weapon unready pose, and so it'll just go to that pose whenever they're performing an action. So whenever they drop an equipment, throw a pulse blade, throw a grenade, melee, stuff like that, it'll always just play that animation for that gun on the right arm, and then the left arm and chest does whatever they need to do. I'm thinking that'll be fine enough. But I fixed another bug, not that it matters to you guys, but there was an issue with bullet casings coming out in both first person and third person, but I fixed that this morning. So it doesn't look like it's quite working in or third person. I guess I've always just had it work in first person, so I never thought about it. But yeah. Let's just, I guess, get working on those. So I can find out where my base animations is. I guess this will be fine enough. Yeesh. Ooh, this is some jank animation. Definitely looks much better in game. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna duplicate this file. All right. So what do we do first? I say we do the drop equipment because that doesn't require us to attach a mesh to our players' hands, so it'll be a little easier to get started with. Yes, drop that. Don't say it like that. That sounds weird. And yeah, this will actually look weird until we do that that offset pose, because I'm not going to animate it again for this one if I'm just going to reanimate it for each gun. So that might be something we do today. However, this is probably only going to be about an hour and a half stream. So we'll see. I'm going to see if I can find the first person animation file, because that'll make it easier to do the timings the exact same. So if we find first person equipment animation, this should be it. And if we go in first person, sure enough, this is it. And, oh, I do not want to play as 2 players yet. And sure enough, if we drop an equipment, that is indeed the animation that plays. Cool. Alright. I is going to put this on my left monitor so I can scroll through the keyframes. But you guys can actually see what I'm animating. So, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to put this little dude off to his side, just so we don't have to worry about seeing that. I'm thinking we just go simple and just like raise the hand to the chest, because that's where the equipment comes out of. I'm curious what like Halo 3 does for that. You guys want me to launch Halo 3 and record it in theater and see? I'll totally go do that. But I'm thinking like we just start at our side and then like bring our arm up to our chest or something like that. Grab this little bad boy. That is not the right bad boy. Yeah, take that out to like there. And then that's where we like throw the arm out and then have some follow through. Maybe bring the arm down slightly. Honestly, that's probably going to look fine enough. I should actually probably see where it comes out of the player when it does spawn. We'll go into slow-mo, press it, and then... Okay, that thing's massive. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how massive that... Yep, that's just chilling in your back pocket if you didn't know. That massive freaking thing. You got big pockets. What can I say? Yep. As well as 4 grenades. Sorry, not 4. 8 grenades, because you can hold 2 of each type, and there's 4 types of grenades, so you can hold 8 grenades. Where that's sitting on the player, who knows? Not me, and I ain't gonna figure it out. Why not? Because at the end of the day, it's fun. Alright, how long does this animation need to be? Oh. 30 frames. Cool. Alright. Now we've got our base poses kind of figured out, we can start placing this. And then I also need to look in Unreal and figure out what frame the equipment actually drops, because I need to set that to the maximum extent of the arm. Base animations, equipment, and drop. Hey, yo, that's crazy. Okay, so this actually drops it on frame 6. Do I have this animation sped up? I do. Well, that's nice. I forgot I sped it up. Okay, so frame 6 times 1.5 would be frame 9, actually. So frame 9 is actually the frame that this drops. And then I'll just animate this one at the same rate that it's animated for first person, and then I'll speed it up later. So actually, this is actually kind of perfect timing. We throw it out. See, it seems like we get to max extension in the first person one on frame 7. That's crazy. I just got this perfect first try. Like, the timing of this is dang near perfect. That's very rare. Not only in game dev, but also just for me. I'm thinking I'm gonna like have the hand come up a little bit. Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude. Literally, it's crazy. And that's why I envy people who actually like genuinely know Blender. Because if you genuinely know Blender and are good at it and like doing it, that's the big thing too, is if you like doing it, then you've got like an insane skill that you can use. Yeah. Dude, especially if you know how to do like lighting and rendering, like if you know how to set those things up, and if you've got a good enough machine that you can render very fast, rendering is an insane, like, you can make a lot of money from doing renders. I'm thinking for this chest, we're probably gonna have to like, we're gonna want to rotate it like this. And then as we extend, we're gonna want to rotate it the other way. That way we're... Ooh. His waist ain't moving. Are we thinking chest comes back a little bit too? I don't know where I'm asking you guys. You guys are probably just as confused as I am about some of this stuff. That's fair. But you're also here for feedback because you're the target audience. What are you saying? You can't give AAA feedback? Why does Belly do that? That's fair. Trust me, as somebody who's given feedback for a lot of games, yeah, it's unfortunate. You're kidding, I have to manually move each of these. Because whoever made this rig, not me, it was me, was very dumb and didn't add finger controls. So, yeah. I would definitely love to learn more about animating. Just not anytime soon. Yeah, well, that's because indie games actually care about their product. AAA dev or AAA games, it's just another paycheck for them. They don't care. As long as they're getting paid, they don't care if they actually make it good, quote unquote. Yeah, yeah, that's true. A lot of the devs do care. You're right. It is the higher ups. That's what I said about Halo for so long. 343 actually had a lot of good plans from what it looks like for their roadmap and whatnot, but I bet you the higher ups were just like, nah, make money. Yeah. I'm sure there's a few of them that care. It can't be all of them, right? Right? Alright, let's export this and get this in engine. Yeah, no, they don't. Like, take a look at Splitgate. Splitgate right now, I'm actually having a ton of fun in Splitgate 2. The beta is incredibly fun, and I am actually probably going to go play a little bit of that after this stream. But that's because they're mostly an indie dev studio. They're definitely going down the route of AAA just because they got that massive like $10 million grant and whatever. They're definitely leaning more into the AAA side of things for whatnot, but you know, I loved Splitgate 1. I was a beast at Splitgate 1. Actually, you know what? It's my stream. I can show whatever I want. I'm gonna show y'all a clip that I got yesterday on Splitgate 2. I have so many Splitgate 1 clips of me just absolutely killing it. I'm sure these clips don't look as impressive after the fact as a lot of clips do. But to me, these were impressive in the moment. I guarantee you these won't look that impressive now watching back on them. Like, you'll be like, oh yeah, you got the kill, cool. But I bet you it won't be like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. So many of my clips are like that. I go back and watch them and I'm just like, okay, that's kind of cool. But it wasn't anything insane. You just flicked, you know, 500 pixels and hit him in the head. Which I guess is still fairly impressive in a way. Alright, I was waiting for my files to reorganize. I don't know what this is. Oh, yeah, I thought this health that he had was a little BS. I feel like that's enough for a sniper shot to kill. Oh, he started regenning. Okay, never mind, that makes sense. I'm no longer confused now that I watched the clip. This clip, though.
Double kill.
Victory is close. Don't back down.
Three kills to go. Heating up.
I was killing it with the sniper.
Double kill.
Which, that honestly to me didn't look like a headshot. Okay, I guess it could have been a headshot.
Double kill. Round one.
That also to me doesn't look like it was a headshot.
Round one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like Halo Sniper. It's got 100% accuracy. Just like pretty much any other like arena shooter.
Another round.
Double kill.
But like, I was just popping off with this thing.
Three kills to go.
Because you just, like you see here, I just shoot him once in the body. And then swapped my other weapon and hit him once. And that's it, they're dead. Like, it's very busted.
Kill. Round one.
I don't know that I got the other clip though. I clutched around. Oh wait, no, this is the clip. Yeah, I thought this was after. I guess it was before. So this is the last round of this firecracker mode, and in this mode, it's like plant. You know, it's search and destroy. You have to plant a bomb. But if your teams are tied, because it's round based, if the teams are tied at the end, you actually only get one life. There's no respawns.
Firecracker in play.
So
Don't let the enemy defuse it.
but like I plant the bomb and I just hide right here because they're just gonna come running into sight, as you can tell. So I shoot him in the leg, bam, punch him, face the second guy, bam, and punch him. Clutch, easy. And then of course I had a teabag, but besides the point. I mean, the Splitgate's weapons actually genuinely feel really good. I'm impressed. But we'll see if they listen to the community. It's a free-to-play game, so it's kind of hard to think that they will. You mean there's no data to import? Aw. Not this. What? Why is animation disabled? What the? That's weird. Oh yeah. Well, if they stop making games for money and start making games, you know, out of passion, AAA companies could come back and cook. But I doubt that's going to happen. I mean, hell, Concord and Marathon. Like, Marathon, I'm sure, was made out of some love for the Marathon franchise. However, oh my goodness. I forgot to disable that in Blender. Whoops. Because my animation export settings got all kinds of bonked. There we go. Export animations. Okay. And we export it again for like the 40th time. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we scale this up by 1.5 again, because that's what the other one is. Dang, I didn't know that. I thought there was some passion on the team. I guess not, though. That's crazy. Yeah, I heard about the whole plagiarism thing. That's honestly insane that, like, I just can't fathom how as the art lead you can just let that happen. All right, let's get this set up. Third person animations. No, we need to go into weapons. Yeah, kind of like what Halo Infinite did, but that was a very grudgingly delay for Halo Infinite, and even then we still barely got a functional game. I mean, that's why, what's it called? Embark Studios is absolutely popping off right now because, they're actually doing good stuff. I need to reconnect to source control because apparently it's not knowing, or it's not going. I'm still here. I'm just not going to show my server information. Who owns the rights to Halo? Microsoft. I'm fairly certain. Huh, weird. It's just not letting me connect to source control. That's very interesting. Okay. And the last thing I need to do. Oh. That's not what I wanted to do. I think that should work. Okay, well, it's not playing it locally, so that's cool. I really need to. I'm gonna have to revisit this entire code during this week. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Because I have to build all this stuff into GMC. All right, that I guess kind of seemed to work. Golly, I can't tell because I'm stupid and went invis. Ooh, it's so fast. All right, let's see what happens if a client does it. All right, let's do this. Let's my frames, dude. What the? I'm gonna have to start doing some profiling. See where my frames are going. All right, in theory, if he starts dropping the equipment, I mean, he did drop it. Yep. Let me just see if the client, oh, let me see if the client sees me do it. Yep, it was also incredibly fast. Unreal is now frozen. My computer is, I'm gonna have to go clean my computer soon. It is hating me. But look how fast this is. Ready? You, oh, that's melee. Ready? It's so fast. But it's cool because it works at any angle. So in theory, if I'm looking down, it's so fast. Well, that's one down. It's super fast, but I mean, it do be getting the job done. A lot of those timing, like once the system's set up, then we're not going to do the pulse blade today because that requires doing blender setup that I don't feel like fiddling around with right now. I am incredibly tired. Yeah, doing the reloads in third person is actually I might be able to just copy the first, because the first person rig and third person rig use the exact same rig. They're not different by it, like at all. I could probably honestly copy exactly the keyframes from first person to third person and then just tweak the torso. That might work. It would take a little bit of setup, and I don't know if it would actually be faster. I don't know if it would genuinely be faster than just doing what I need to. No, I don't think that'd work because even though they use the same rigs, the bones are actually in a super weird position. Because they're actually attached. In first person, I use the head bone as like the camera bone. And that gets teleported to 0, 0, 0. That way it's at like at the base of the feet. And that's why if we go look at any of like the first person animations, and we go like pistol land, you know, you can see that the arms are at the bottom, and if we change the preview mesh to be this, yeah, you can tell the chest. Oh yeah, the chest and the head get teleported to 0, 0. So I wouldn't just be able to copy them over, unfortunately. Dang, I was kind of hoping that'd be a smart way to save a little bit of time just for Gen 2 animations. Once the systems are set up, that's where I can go in and spend a bunch of time creating good animations. But I'm also waiting for a new player model. This one's doing just fine. It's working, but it's obviously not the obviously not this bad boy. So yeah. Can't wait to get them modeled and in game. It's gonna look so good. Unfortunately, I don't have that skill, so that's why we're just sticking with this player model, because that's gonna cost a lot of money to get. So for now, we're just sticking with the Gen 2 model. It does it justice. It still, you know, it still fits the general theme of the game. You know, it's got some customization stuff. It's got the Tron lights. You know, it works. It ain't perfect, but I mean, it looks good with the whole low poly style that all of Gen 2's things have going for it. So I'm fine with leaving it. The GoFundMe? Ugh. I'm gonna have to create one. And then create one for every single player model after that. Goodness gracious, my frames. I can't. Alright, what are some other things on my list that aren't animation? I want to do some... I was going to make some hit marker changes. I don't know if they would add anything to the game, but there's a part of me that says they would. But like, I'm thinking it could be cool. I don't know if COD or anything does it. It's both. I mean, in Unreal, like, I'm barely getting 80 frames just sitting, you know, here. If I just click play with one player, that drops down to about 40, so it drops down to almost half. And I think that's because of the movement component. It is just, it is a very complex and, like, there's a lot going on. I mean, it's running a lot of physics and movement and checks, and I'm sure there's a little bit of optimization I have to do with my code, but just the movement component that allows for like the whole networked movement and all that to be smooth and server authoritative and synchronous, that makes everything work. That just by itself is very expensive. But on top of that, I have 2 players in here, so it's twice the amount since I have the AI. I'm sure if I probably deleted this dude, I would probably get better frames. Barely, but yeah, barely get better frames. It's a CPU issue. It's the fact that I haven't cleaned my PC in ages, so I should probably do that sometime soon, especially because I'm moving, so I don't want it to be nice and clean for my new apartment. But it's also just like the editor itself just has a lot of overhead. So the editor, I'm barely getting 70, 80 frames. In game, I get like 200. So it's not that the game itself is really that unoptimized. It's just that it's because it's in the editor. And so when you're running 2 copies of the game, you're running twice as much code. So that's why you see it's 40, and then as soon as the second player spawns, it goes down to like 25. There's a lot of factors that are going into it. What was I going to show you guys? Oh, yeah. Basically, what my idea was, and again, I don't know if this is necessarily going to add anything to the game, but my idea was going to be anytime a hit marker gets added to your screen, let's say you're shooting somebody in the center of your screen, the hit markers will look fine. They'll look how they're supposed to look. But then if, say, you shoot somebody with like a projectile based weapon, and you know you're like tracking them across the screen, so they're like flying to the left across your screen, so you're like aiming ahead of them, trying to shoot them. So by the time, you know, let's say you shoot a, they're like falling, or they're right here. They're falling in this direction towards your crosshair because you're tracking them. Your projectiles are going to hit them off or not centered on your screen because, you know, you're tracking them. So my idea was, based off of where your shots hit, essentially I would kind of nudge the hit markers in that direction, not by this much, but like do a little like, I don't know, I'd kind of like, I can't show it without animating it, but I'd kind of just like bump the hit marker, like do a little animation to like pop it out and back in. Like it would essentially pop out in that direction. Ooh, I know how I can show this kind of. I hope. So like pay attention to when this guy takes damage. You see how the little damage indicator right here kind of like does that like pop animation? It like comes out and comes back in. I'm thinking, hear me out. I'm thinking what I do is do that with the hit marker, so the hit marker will kind of bump in the direction of the guy that you're damaging. It'll give you a little more information about that shot. Because, you know, if you maybe have a turret that's shooting somebody, now you can kind of tell where, I mean, you should obviously know where your turret is, but if your turret is shooting somebody, that hit marker is going to kind of bump in the direction of the person you're hitting, and it might give you a little bit of information. Again, I don't know if it'll look weird or if it's even worth doing, but it's just an idea I had when I was thinking about like how I can add a little more game feel and feedback and stuff to the player. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth looking into, but it's an idea. But that's kind of part of this little hit marker rework. Look at all this code. You know, I don't have damage fall off. We're gonna go code that. At least for bullets or hit scan weapons, I don't have damage fall off. Damage types, that's what I was looking for. Oh wait, what am I doing? No, I was right. Get ball. Do I have the damage fall off in the gun? I should probably check that before doing anything. No, I don't. Good. We're adding it into here then. Damage. Allah. That's weird. Oh. Basically, we're just gonna do a simple check. First off, as long as these values aren't equal to each other, which means we actually do have fall off. If they are equal to each other, we just return a value of 1. And then we want to take an input of distance. Because the way my damage system works, or because of the way Unreal's damage system works, I can't just do a 0 to 1, because Unreal automatically recognizes if you're trying to add 0 damage, it just won't call the damage value. But since I'm using that damage value as a lerp, I actually have to do 1 to 2. And then, so that's why I'm normalizing this to a range, adding 1. That way, if this gets normalized to 0 to 1, we just add 1 to get it to that 1 to 2 range. And bada bing, bada boom. Should work. Get damage fall off. Get fall off amount. That's what I wanted. Boom, pop. And then in here, we can just plug in the distance straight into distance because Unreal's cool like that, and it gives you all that info from that. And then just to debug this, we are going to come into our components, health system, and full health system. Oh, it connected to source control. Good. We can go. There we go. Back to health system. Actually, we're just going to debug this for in the player. Damage taken. We'll make this red. Cool. Okay. And I'm just going to close everything. That is also a thing with the frames. See, my frames are back up to 90. If you have something like... This is a weird thing. I don't understand why it's not optimized. Let's say I just go open up an animation. This is technically a separate viewport, but even if I'm not looking at that window, my frames will drop. Even if it's not like... It's weird. But as soon as I close that, I will get slightly better frames. And it's very dependent on animations. Or like based off the type. So... Anyways, this should still work. 8, 8, 8. Yep. That's working. Yep, that's working. Okay. So now, if we come into the damage types, and we start to put a... So we have the fall off values in here. We just actually need to add the fall off ranges, which I'm actually going to open up the UE4 copy. But for now, we can just do like 10 meters and then 25 meters just to test to see if fall off is working. And I don't want to play with 2 players because this isn't multiplayer. So if we're close. Oh, it's dealing actually more damage. That's not good. We just need a clamp it. That should work. Yep, still getting 8. And then as we back up, now we're getting like 7. Now we're getting almost like 5. Yeah, and now all the way back here we're getting 5. And then pistol we should still just be getting 10. Yep. Okay, cool. Because I don't actually know if I want the pistol to have fall off or not. But actually, instead of just opening the UE4 version, I can just test this myself. I'm thinking SMG should have full damage. Not about this range, you know. He fits within the reticle. I think that's fair. So it's 1 meter, 2 meter, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just round up to 8. And then for minimum damage, what are we thinking? Like... I mean, it is an SMG, so you honestly want it to fall off pretty quickly. I'm thinking here's good. How much is that? 1, 2. All right. Nope. I have this debug thing for a reason, and I've never used it. Oh, the UE4 version of the game just opened, so we can honestly look in there to see what the fall off distance value should be, but how did I close that? We're just gonna do it on tick. Oh, that's why I had it on that key. That key cannot be pressed in Unreal. Interesting. That strange is not even returning anything. Oh. Well, let's go 6. I didn't realize that's what integral digits means. I didn't know you could change that. That's good to know. Cool. All right. We were standing on this second one, I believe. 22 meters. All right. Now let's go see what the old version had. I think it was in data, weapons, weapon variables, if I'm not mistaken. And then it was SMG. Hit scan variables, fall off range was 15 to 25. So, I mean, slightly lowering it to be more effective in closer range, but... And it's funny that that was pretty much the exact values I think that I had in there. Or no, I had 10 meters to 25 meters, not 15. Just see how 20 feels. Yeah, feels fine. Cool. All right, we have damage fall off working. I can check that off. Wondering, should the pistol have any damage fall off? I'm thinking it should. It's a light ammo. Light ammo should have... Honestly, in theory, all the weapons should have damage fall off, but... Though the pistol's ranges, because it's a precision weapon, should definitely be a lot more. So, like... Go like 20 meters to 45 meters. Yeah, it's still effective up into that range. And then if we do a 45. Yeah, it'll still one-tap headshot. It just won't bleed through as much. I like that. But I do think I need to tune down the spread on the pistol a little bit. Yeah, that feels good. Oh yeah, look at this gun. AAA gun right here. Just wait till you guys see it fire. I don't think you guys are ready. Actually, this is just a joke gun that we added for now. I am, however, going to... What's this song? Now let's see how this sounds with the assault rifle. Oh my. Look at that. Look at the respawn. Ready? Dink. Oh, did it still have one bullet? That looks so good. There we go. Alrighty. Thinking, because right now we're getting into the final stages of this build. Like, playtesting is going extremely well. Did I close that? I did. Interesting. Yeah, no, playtesting is going extremely well. We've got very few bugs remaining. I think the majority of what needs to be done before the official playtest of this build is not only finishing all this stuff. I don't know if we'll have dual wielding in the vertical slice, just because that doubles the amount of animations for both the SMG and pistol. Actually, it more than doubles. So I don't know if we'll have dual wielding in for this build. Just because it'll also be good to compare. So basically what'll happen for the playtest is we'll actually play the UE4 version. We'll play this version first. So it'll be like a 2-day thing. Everyone will play this version, assuming it works. I haven't touched this in ages, so it might not work. But we'll play this version, that way people can compare and say what things they liked in this version versus this version. It'll be on the same map, ideally, hopefully Speedway. So it'll be on the same map, exact same layout. I'll limit it to only the SMG and pistol, and then or assault rifle, SMG and pistol. And then yeah, we'll see what people like between Gen 2 and Gen 3. If that's something I can change, then I'll change it. I'm assuming majority of people are going to like this version because I mean, I think this version looks, feels, obviously sounds a lot better than whatever this is. The only reason why I still love this version is just because it has so much more content. Because this version I was just purely focusing on adding stuff. I was not focusing on making it necessarily the best. I mean, seriously, look at the difference in animation. Also, the thing I have my damage multiplier turned down by like 1,000,000. I can see if I can change that in here. Yeah, like, I mean, this one obviously had the assassinations, but like, see, the guns don't really. That versus this. I mean, I think this version feels way better. Other than the assault rifle. I love the assault rifle animations in this build. Except for the sprint. And the sniper, oh boy. Yeah. I don't know, we'll see. Dang, there's a lot of stuff to do. Holy. I don't know. Alrighty, well, I think that's all we're gonna do for this. I'm gonna go play a little bit of games and do a little bit of, I don't know, I might check one or two of these other things off the list. That's not really a stream thing. But we'll see. But that's gonna be it for this stream today. So I shall talk to you all later. Actually, oh yeah, I lagged there. Dang, I don't have any actual clips from any recent test sessions, at least. Oh, this was a bug. Yeah. Don't worry about that. But, alrighty, that's it for this stream. I will talk to you all later. See ya.